Hi, welcome to the Universal Scale. This is our first episode. What we're going to be talking about is how to learn the scale patterns all the way up and down the neck using one single pattern, which I call the Universal Scale. The book's available on Amazon, $14.99, and it's had a couple good different covers over the years. It's been out for about 9 years now. So this is the first cover that it came out with, and we moved to this, but it's the same book, so no matter which version you have. And now we have a new cover, which is what you see at the beginning on the intro. If you need to reach me for any questions, you can email me at the link below, and let's get started. Okay, so the first thing before we start, I want to go through a few things we need to know. To go through these patterns. So the first one it's called the B string principle, and it has to do with the way the guitar is designed. So if you ever tune your guitar without a tuner, you notice that you use the 5th fret, and then when you get to the B string, you go down to the 4th fret. Okay? And back to the 5th fret. So the B string is a little different. It's treated differently than all the other strings. So in order to accommodate for that, we need to shift up 1 fret. So, for instance, if you can see here, it's all explained in the book, but anyway, if you take like an E chord, let's take an E chord and shift it downward and see how this works. So take an E chord, and then we shift it down, take all the fingers, move them down 1 to A, but this first finger falls on the B string, so we have to shift it up, which gives us the A chord. Now we move down another string. Now this finger, so we take the A, we move it down, but this finger, the middle finger here, is on the B string, so we need to shift it up 1 fret. It's going to look like this, which is a standard D chord. Okay? So we go from E to A to D. Now this applies to any time you're playing. You want to take a pattern and you want to move it up a string. Whenever you hit a B string, you got to shift up. If you're moving down, if you're going down a pattern, down in pitch, then when you hit the G string, you got to shift in. So we can go to take a D. If you want to go this way, move it up. This finger is on the G string. That's come down, and that gives us an A chord. And then if we move it up again, this finger is on the G string. So that's to go downward 1 fret, and that gives us a E chord. Okay, so we'll be relying heavily on this throughout the book. So now you can take a pattern. Let's take a little 3-note pattern like this. Okay, so it's 2, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. Actually, let's just take a 2-string pattern. Okay, so 2-string pattern. 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. Go up to the next string. Go to the next string. See, it didn't sound good because we need to move up a fret on the B string. So if we do that, we get, which sounds correct. And then we keep continuing up. So if we're going downward, it would be, see, it didn't sound good. We got to go shift down on the G. So B. Okay, so any pattern we have, we hit the B string, we have to shift up 1 fret. So it's called the B string principle. Okay, now that we have the B string principle, we're going to start talking about the universal scale. Now, what is the universal scale? Universal scale allows us, instead of learning position by position by position, a bunch of different patterns, we're just going to use one pattern for the whole neck. So to get started, it involves, there's 3 basic finger patterns I'm going to be using. So I call them, so we have the 1, 2, 4 is the top one. Now that means, doesn't mean finger, okay? It just means in a span of 4 frets, you're hitting the 1st fret, the 2nd fret, and the 4th fret. Then we have the 1, 3, 4, which is the 1st fret, the 3rd fret, and the 4th fret. And then we have the 1, 3, 5. So this is a spans 5 frets. We have the 1st fret, the 3rd fret, and the 5th fret. Okay, you can use any finger you want to do these. Normally I use a 1, 2, 4, like 1st finger, 2nd finger, pinky. This one I would use 1, 3, 4, 1st finger, 3rd finger, pinky. And this I would use, you can use either one. Sometimes it's easier to use the 1st finger, 3rd finger, 5th finger, or you can also use the 1st finger, 2nd finger, 4th finger. So they look like this. So 1, 2, 4, right here. Okay. Then we have 1, 3, 4 is this. And then we have the 1, 3, 5, which is this. So you have to stretch a little bit, or you can play like this. Or people do that, whatever's more comfortable. Sometimes it's easier. Up here, it's easier to use. Down here, sometimes it's easier to do that, whatever you like. Okay, so that's the preliminaries we need to do the universal scale. So to get used to these 3 patterns, if you're just starting on guitar, you should try these 3. They're not scales; they're just exercises. So you just do the 1, 2, 4 on every string, going up and down. 1, 3, 4 on every string, and the 1, 3, 5 on every string, going up and down, just to get your coordination. So the first one, would look like this. Second one would be this. The third one would be this. So practice those, until you can do them, because that's just basic coordination we need to have to play scales. So to understand the universal scale, we just think of a guitar that keeps going, like it has a million strings, just keeps going. It's like a neck this wide. So if you had that, you would have 2 1 2 4s, 2 1 3 4s, and then 3 1 3 5s. So it would look like this. So we have 2 1 2 4s, 2 1 3 4s, and then 3 1 3 5s. That's the universal scale. Now you can say, well, it's that's 7 strings. My guitar doesn't have that many strings, and then also once it finishes that, then it shifts up 1 fret and starts over. So we have 2 1 2 4s, 2 1 3 4s, 3 1 3 5s. We shift up 1 fret and we start over. So we have 2 1 2 4s, 2 1 3 4s, 3 1 3 5s, and etc. It keeps going. Okay, so basically, if you had a guitar with a million strings on it that kept going forever, you would have 2 1 2 4s, 2 1 3 4s, 3 1 3 5s. Then it would shift up 1 fret, which I call the universal shift. 2 1 2 4s, etc. Okay, 1 2 1 2 4s, 2 1 3 4s, 3 1 3 5s. Shift again, and continue. That's the universal scale. So there you have it. That's the universal scale. We're going to, in coming episodes, we're going to work up the neck in every position using the universal scale and applying it to show you how easy it is to memorize the entire neck with using just one pattern. Okay. So the way I'm going to break this up is I'm going to go through each position, learn the scale, and then I'm going to have another episode of exercises for that position. And then probably a third episode of improvisation ideas for that position. So each position will have 3 videos, and we'll work our way up the neck and learn the entire neck with one easy scale. See you next time.